listen, tune in. Tune the fuck in.
Hey, we in the building, we out here.
Right on, Matt.
Talk to me.
Devil's advocate, I'm gonna take being Kodak right now. Realistically,
He didn't say anything wrong.
nah, come on, don't steal what I'm like. I don't understand. I'm really not understanding that. Realistically, me and you could have been chopping it up, and we probably felt the same way. She's fire. Shout out to Laura London, RP Nipsey Hussle. Me, no disrespect. She's fire, bro.
She's well put.
I remember when that happened. The day it happened, I was around a few of my homies, and a few of my homies low-key said the same thing, bro. Like, damn, Lauren London's fire. She's a widow now. That man's gone. Like, it might be time to shoot my shot, playing around. But these industry niggas probably feel the same way, bro. He's the only one that said it.
All right, why say it?
Now, why be on camera saying it?
Why?
It didn't look like he was live,
that's
right?
That's why disrespectful.
It was live.
Bro.
And it is disrespectful being live.
Bro.
Hold on, before I finish, that's the only part that's rude.
Like
yeah, if those are your true feelings,
hold on.
That was a private conversation with nobody can hear. Then
and I know that came up. That's why when people get so upset about it, I just want them to put themselves in that same situation. I don't know if he was live or his homie was live. You never know. Like, I don't know how that popped up there. We'll have to put the research on.
I'm pretty sure.
But I'm pretty sure.
Even if it was his man's, once Kodak was with me, that shit, he should have took it down. Should have checked his man. That's not right, bro.
Once shit is on
a legend, one of a kind guy just died, bro. And you feel like it's time to talk about his widow, bro. Like, you feel like your timing couldn't have been any wrong, bro. Any better.
I'm just saying, a few of the niggas that I was around that same day Nipsey got hit, obviously none of us are close to them.
He doesn't.
Some of them are probably, some of my mans is probably more fans of Lauren London.
It's a principle.
Keep it 100, bro.
It's a principle, though,
yeah,
bro.
I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that I kind of know Lauren London a little more than Nick from being younger and watching ATL, and remember that she was like gorgeous. I mean, you had to be like 18 watching Lauren London.
I think it's just more like.
I'm not saying it's respectable, but he's probably my age, bro.
And a time
I'm
like
29
this.
right now. Oh, that's a terrible number. But what I'm saying, he got to be from, I don't know how old is Kodak Black, but Kodak Black might know more about Lauren London than he does about Nick.
That doesn't make
sense. I'm just saying, if you watch other videos he said in that same sequence of events, I'm not 100% defending him because I don't agree with what he said. I don't agree with it being allowed for the world to see it. Like in personal closed doors for you to say that.
Some stations,
I'm pretty sure it came up in a lot of people's cribs. That's all.
Some stations are now not playing Kodak's music.
Absolutely.
Some
out of respect.
Some facilities have removed his picture, his work,
a lot
from their facility.
How
do you feel about that? Is that like going overboard, or is that justified? Like,
no.
What's your take on it? Go ahead.
I feel like it's just like I don't have any tolerance for this kind of behavior. You know what I mean? And it's just like him being that, you know, Nipsey being that person, that powerful person, and that public figure, and the way that Lauren carries herself. You know, she carries herself respectfully. So it's just like, we're not going to tolerate you disrespecting her in a very tough time like this for her. That's not something she wants to hear, and she wants to be dragged out, continued, and gossiped about. So it's just like, you know what I mean? We're going to just eliminate him, the view of him, you know, anything to make you feel better, because that's the impact Nipsey made. So I just think that, you know, I feel like it's the most respectful thing to do. Like, if you have the power to do it, and he's made the impact that he's made, then, you know, if I had the power to do something like that, then I would do it too. Or out of respect, not even just because there's a respect for a female that's grieving, like, and that could be a man thing to say or whatever like that. And unfortunately for him, he's in a public eye. So, like, you know, your conversation, your friend's conversation with you, you know, that's not something that will be out like how his is, but his is out, and he should be aware of that. And again, there's somebody whenever you put yourself in any vulnerable position, then you always got to protect yourself and think. And it's not, people make mistakes, but it's good to know and be aware that, like, you know, you gotta be aware of who you are. Like, I cannot say or do certain things. I gotta be a respectful person, or I'm gonna be targeted. And you said somebody responded to him?
Gotcha.
If I disrespected you, knowing under, in any shape or form, I'm sorry. Even though I didn't. And rest in peace to dude. Y'all already know what I said. I said dude encouraged me to do shit for the community. But anyhow, my bad to them too. But for all you other people like trying to fake act like y'all little boying me on the internet or checking me on the internet, that's how you feel, bro. That's how y'all want to feel. And I got a whole tour. Like, I'm in Georgia right now. Tomorrow,
Get a pause on that. Let me get a pause on that.
How you feel?
He fake said apologize to dude. I wasn't feeling the dude part.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not cool with that. You're
I
still
think
being
it's just,
disrespectful.
I'm not gonna call that part disrespectful, but I'm gonna call that being, you know what, I'm gonna keep it on it, uneducated. He's expressing his feeling and being uneducated. That's what I'm gaining from that.
That's what you got?
He don't got the right words to say. That's what I feel. And
he's not woke.
Maybe that might be like
an immature thing
or an excuse.
Immaturity.
For me saying that's an excuse for me. I'm not a Kodak Black fan at all.
Age what?
Age, ignorance.
He's
just not well educated, bro.
He's not on the same playing field.
Not well, like Nipsey. Believe it or not, like whether his like high school, college, whatever Nipsey had, Nipsey was like, you could tell he was a well educated person. He would never speak like that on anyone.
Yeah.
This kid is not educated and he has no media training, obviously. You feel me? And he's trying to say things, but he just can't express himself properly.
Everybody's raised differently.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I get a lot out of that.
Like, it's like
rest in peace. That's what I'm saying when I told you about.
He said it, and I don't think he meant it. Like he said, he's sorry. I believe that he didn't mean it. Like, he's talking, but he didn't mean harm. But he's thinking I'm just having this man conversation with my guys, and I'm just talking, but I don't really mean that harm. And it's like, R.I.P. to him, but it's like he's not woke, so the impact don't really hit him. He's asleep.
But look what Nip had posted about Kodak. And
Before?
That was
read that.
2017.
Yeah, let me see. Let me hear it.
It just said go grab Kodak Black new shit. It was just that was the type of person he was, bro. He was showing love. I feel like that's disrespectful, bro.
It's
no matter how you want to
disrespectful.
put it, bro. Uneducated, nigga. You don't gotta be educated to know that you out of pocket, bro. He knew he was out of pocket, so he tried to apologize just because I'm pretty sure niggas called him like, yo, bro, you wildin'. Nipsey's, for me, did everything. He's still by the people, for the urban community especially, and you gonna talk about his wife like that?
He's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful, bro. And niggas just ain't condoning that. Now, do you think his music needs to come down? Because that's what some people felt. Like, nigga, we not tolerating this stupidity no more. Like, he's trying to bring motherfuckers together, and you doing stupid shit. You didn't say anything wrong, but your timing, bro. Like, come on, bro.
I feel like that, but I'm just like,
you don't even.
Just make sure everybody just keep, if you're gonna take it all the way deep like that, it would be like, just keep the same energy. Like, if you can remove him because you want to be so strongly and you want to push this positivity, make sure you like donate bread or host an event or do something and push something positive in another direction as well. Like, stay consistent with the positive moves and being serious that you feel what he felt and you want to make an impact and you want to respect and do the right thing in the right way. So if not, then it's just like, you can tell everybody's brought up different. He's brought, I think, down south or something like he's just in a different culture, and he can be disrespectful, but in the same sense of being disrespectful, but for you to even say it in the first place, there's ignorance in it. Like, it's definitely disrespectful, but because if it wasn't ignorant, it would have never left your mouth or crossed your mind or been on live or in that situation or having, like, that was a pretty long conversation about it. He was getting into detail and he dragged it out, and it was just like. You
don't think no people, like no guys amongst themselves touched on that? Like, damn, Nipsey gone. As a matter of fact, let's even do rapper industry people. You don't think they tapped in? Like, oh shit. Like,
but
it wasn't recorded, yeah. But you said just because it left his mouth, it was ignorance. So I'm
that's
saying,
still ignorance. That's still being child. That's still being playful. That's being like a little immature, a little childish at the moment. Not to say like you don't feel sorry or you don't feel for the situation, but for you to even, you trying to lighten the mood or you trying to, still like, damn, that's fucked up. But it's like, at the end of the day, your life still goes on. Like, you talking about Lauren and I give her a year, something like that. Like, this is her real life. This is what she's going through. Like, she lost the love of her life. And to hear that, you know, what is it, a week or not even a week, and men are preying on you and counting, there's a countdown of when I'm just gonna open back up and give it to somebody, that's just that is disrespectful.
Absolutely, but
and it doesn't matter, and just be, and you know, even if it's behind closed doors and you said it to yourself and it's just a man thing, or what, us females really find it disrespectful because we can control ourselves, and no nigga's gonna pass away and be like, damn. But maybe some cases, like, oh, he's an attractive man, and but like, oh, like, damn, he's dead, but like, oh, her man died, and I wonder how long till he's ready to give it back up, because you know what I mean. And even if there is females like that, because there's females in every field that could be is just a man thing. That's your greaseball too.
My question to you, Pretty Cold, is you don't feel like that convo took place off camera?
Like he was set up?
No, but like, can you put a percentage on how many males probably had that convo off camera?
I think it's decent.
An estimation, like off your mind.
50-50? I'll give it a 50-50.
What you think, Bello, on that? How many
You'll
guys
give it a 50-50?
you think tapped in on that situation? Like, damn, R.I.P. Nipsey, but
think about how many men there are,
and more in the industry.
There's more men than women.
Industry guys.
No, there's
how
more
many
women than men.
Like that. Think really tapped in on that and thought about it.
It all depends on character, bro. Like,
but if you give a percentage of,
I just want a percentage, bro. Percentage.
You give a 50%, or you think less?
Yeah, percentage.
You give it to, you feel like there's more stronger people in that won't say those kind of things, or you feel like, I gave it a 50-50. Like, I think I'll give half the population a chance and half just to break even.
I mean, I'm gonna always go with the odds just cause I feel like niggas ain't
percentage, bro. Dancing around the
question. You wanna believe in people?
I don't believe in people, bro. So I always say like, niggas will be thinking things like things of that nature. Did
it come up in your circle?
No.
Nobody, like, you was around.
I never heard nobody have no conversations like that.
Niggas spoke highly of Nick as far as like his character, bro. Like
people, I'm gonna keep it on it. Everybody in my circle spoke highly of it, but I heard it a few times.
No, that's some sleaze bullshit. That's some sucker shit, bro. Like, especially knowing the type of nigga he was and what he did, like. And like, of course, it's like natural to think about this woman, but like, I'm also just thinking of how the universe lost somebody special. Like, you feel me?
Facts.
Like, that's just really where I'm at with. Like, that nigga.
That's what I was stuck on.
You worried about something like that? I'm worried about like, damn, this is not too. It's not gonna be too many nips, bro. It's not gonna be too many people that's gonna do that. And he died in front of his store. That really didn't sit well with me, bro. And it's like, Lauren London will be the last thing I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about like some shit that like the nigga got really, he had the Bloods and the Crips really marching to his memorial, bro. Like, that's major. Like, niggas coming together who's beefing for centuries are walking together, bro. Like,
because he's a good man.
Hold on, memorial. What is a memorial, bro? What is a memorial?
I mean, like this funeral, whatever
that take place already?
Yeah, it was taking place. Yeah.
So
in his country, I think he's from Africa.
I read an article that said his memorial was going to be done in a Staples Center, and it was going to be a ticketed event.
No.
That's what I read. I read an article like that.
But Karen Civil, they said that it's not a ticketed event. That's false news.
I just want to. But if it was realistic news, how would you feel about that? Like, do you feel like Nip would want people to pay to come see him?
Definitely
that has to be a charitable event. His brother wouldn't allow it.
He definitely
His family wouldn't allow it.
I'm just saying that's something I read on a credible
That's not something
source.
he would do.
So I can get to your phones. I'm just saying that's something I read on a credible source, that it was going to be done in a Staples Center as a paid event.
If you go to Karen Civil's page, she's an entrepreneur. She helps like artists, like, I guess what you want to say, like kind of like, I want to say like PR or something like that. Like, she helps them get to that next level of professionalism, let's call it. She was a very good friend of Nipsey. She worked with Nipsey also. And it has Nipsey Hussle Celebration of Life, Staples Center, Los Angeles. Join us for the celebration of life and legacy of Nipsey Hussle. It says for free tickets and additional info, please visit the Staples Center. So it's not true, but imagine that. Then I feel like if that was to be placed, then Nipsey, it wouldn't. That's just not his character. Like that's just
like,
not.
That's what when I was
that's not
hearing
something
this,
he would have. It's not something you even want to pay to go to it because it wouldn't be him.
Yeah,
like, you know
like,
what
I don't know. I was
like,
confused.
It wouldn't feel like him. So it's just like, why would I pay to go to something like he wouldn't approve of this. Like he wouldn't want me to pay to show respect to him. So for even somebody to make up that news, but there's a lot of fake news going on, and even the real news, even the Kodak is real news. But for you to even make fake news just to get a clickbait or anything else, is just, it's just certain lines of disrespect, and it's just like people just be worried about themselves. And again, like your life goes on. Like these people who's really connected to him in so many other ways. This is something they have to live with. Eventually this will die down for a lot of other people. So it's sad to say, but the other people that he really touched and he impacted, that will go forward. But some people are just greaseballs. Like people just raised with no morals, no nothing. Like it's disgusting.